Democratic Congressman André Carson sits on the House Intelligence Committee, one of 3 Muslims currently serving in Congress. I appreciate your time, Congressman. You know, the president, as you said, as you heard, was asked specifically today about white nationalism and said he doesn't think there's any rise of white nationalism around the world. What do you think?
I think it's unfortunate when he's speaking about Muslims, when he's speaking about Islam, Aaron, he's speaking in absolute terms. He's speaking emphatically, very boldly. He's making broad generalizations, unapologetically so. But when he talks about white supremacy and white supremacists, he's saying a few, some. And this is disappointing. He's been dog whistling enough, talking about making America great again, taking America to some mythical place that never really existed, by the way. But he's giving a pass. He's been dog whistling to white supremacists since his campaign began. And I think the message of xenophobia, Islamophobia, as it relates to his presidential apparatus has been disappointing, using trigger words like invasion, they, them, other. I think he's framing this as an us against them matter. He doesn't have to be as blatant with his relationship with white supremacists. Dog whistling is enough, and he's met the objective.
I mean, so, you know, can I just play again what he said when he was asked? And as I pointed out, right, he appeared today to speak not with the purpose of speaking about what happened in New Zealand, right? He wanted to come out and speak about the wall and the southern border and his veto. So when he was asked about white nationalism, here's the moment again.
You see today white nationalism as a rising threat around the world.
I don't really. I think it's a small group of people that have very, very serious problems, I guess.
That's what you're referring to, right? So there he says small group of people. When he talks about Muslims, he says, I think Islam hates us. If you have people coming out of mosque with hatred and death in their eyes, we're going to have to do something.
Again, small, some, Islam, they. He's speaking in broad terms about Muslims and the religion of Islam. But when it comes to white supremacists, he's saying a small group, synonymous with some. And I think it's unfortunate. There's an imbalance there in his language. There's been an imbalance with his campaign apparatus. My hope is that President Trump will think more seriously. In fact, when the Congressional Black Caucus met with him some time ago, I was in that meeting, Aaron, and I pressed the president about his language as it relates to Muslims, reminding President Trump that there are Muslims who serve in the federal government, who serve in our law enforcement agencies, who serve in our intelligence services, keeping Americans safe, thwarting attacks that we'll never hear about on CNN or other news outlets. And he responded that he'll think about what I said, but I also encouraged him to continue funding for law enforcement officers. And so I think President Trump is smarter than he leads on, given the fact that he's had Muslims work for his organization and his investments in Muslim countries. But I'm disappointed at the fact that he's speaking to a particular part of his base that is very extremist, and they've proven themselves to be ideologues.
Well, look, you know, this suspect, of course, cited him as, you know, a symbol, right? Symbol of renewed white identity and common purpose. I want to talk about something else, though, this word echo of invade. And obviously that was what the shooter referenced in his manifesto when talking about immigrants, anti-immigrant. The President of the United States obviously happened to, today, talk about his wall. And in a very, very eerie and unfortunate word echo, used the exact same word to talk about brown people. Let me play that again.
We're on track for 1 million illegal aliens to rush our borders. People hate the word invasion, but that's what it is. It's an invasion of drugs and criminals and people.
Congressman, you just said he's smart. He is smart. He knows not to say something like that today, so why'd he say it?
President Trump is very smart. I've met him several times. He's gregarious, he's charismatic, and he's smart. And I think what's disappointing about it, you know, smart people can be misleading, smart people can be duplicitous, smart people can be opportunistic as it relates to solidifying political power and rewarding those in whom he felt helped him get and assume the power, which he is doing right now. It's disappointing.
But in choosing to say that on a day like this horrific day, he knows that's a dog whistle. So then it's not a dog whistle. That's just white supremacy, isn't it?
It is white supremacy, but I mean, he is smart. He's smart enough to say, I stand with white supremacists, so he has to dog whistle. He knows he cannot get away with being as blatant, and I don't think he would ever do that. But what I do think he's not beyond is making sure that those folks in his base who probably can't be aligned with him publicly know that I still appreciate the support. I'm with you. I'm over here. And they've heard the message loudly and clearly.
All right, Congressman, thank you very much. I appreciate your time tonight. I'm so sorry for this this horrific thing and your community, what you are going through tonight. Thank you.
We're standing firm. Thank you.